What is up, everybody? And you are very welcome along to another round of Premier League predictions with myself and the bundle of ball of energy that is Mr. James Redmond. How are you, sir?
Not as much energy today because I'm sick, but listen, even a little cold will not stop me from getting these predictions right and getting above you in the table when it comes to the end of the season. By the way, what's the score updates before I keep chatting shit?
Currently, Craig 34, James 30.
That's not what I wanted to hear, but that's cool. Still a long way to go.
You got lucky with Seamus Coleman giving the ball away to Gallagher, because I had 2-1 Crystal Palace in that one.
That's your fault for putting that much faith in what is a very overrated right back.
The next one is Dean Smith, currently Norwich manager, against his former team, Stevie G's Aston Villa at Carrow Road. This is...
Can you imagine if Dean Smith gets points after the form Villa have been in, probably unfairly sacked in some people's eyes, just with what he achieved at that club, got them promoted, maintained them as a solid Premier League side, lost his main player in Jack Grealish, would have needed a little bit of time to adapt to that. This is going to be interesting. Norwich had zero chance of staying up until Dean Smith got there as well, by the way, because at least now they're getting points and they're giving teams a closer game. It's just the quality that they've got, as I mentioned before, isn't quite up to standard. I think it'd be stupid of me to not go with Aston Villa, but I think it's going to be close, Craig, and I'm going to say 1-0 for the same issues they had against Manchester United. Their quality won't be enough, but when you see Aston Villa with Ollie Watkins, Danny Ings to bring on off the bench, Leon Bailey's injured, but even the midfield, John McGinn's improved so much. Nakambu, marvellous Nakambu, you gave me that name the other day, so
marvellous Nakambu, yeah, what a name, love that lad.
My man marvellous, my man marvellous. I feel like they're going to get the job done and the quality will be too much. I'm going to say Aston Villa 1, Norwich 0.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think a Villa win, I think a slender Villa win. I'm going to go a little bit higher in the score, and I'm going to go Villa to win 2-1. I'm going to go, 2-1 on that one. The last game of the Tuesday is the game I'm going to do a watch-along of, which is Manchester City against Leeds at the Etihad. I mean, surely a City win, James?
Manchester City versus Leeds United. One of those games that when you look at on the calendar, you probably think, you know what, Leeds can give Manchester City a game there. But form is very important, and times change, and so does the opinion. In this case, Leeds, they got a good result against Chelsea, but I think Chelsea and City, in terms of trajectories, are in very different places. City are really finding their rhythm, building the usual 10 to 15 to 20 games win streak that they usually build up. It seems like they're on that road, whereas now Chelsea's squad is being tested a little bit more. They've got 1 or 2 injuries, which last season we were getting slaughtered for and everything's fell to shit. So I feel like Leeds are playing two very different teams. I think City are actually better defensively at the moment than Chelsea, and for those who want to disagree, go for it, but City have conceded less goals. They've improved immensely this season at being a better defence. So I feel like even though they've changed their style of playing, they're not winning 4-5-1 week in, week out. They're a results team, and I just don't see how they don't get the result in this game. I'm going to say Manchester City 2, Leeds 0. That being said, though, City got lucky in their last game against Wolves, so you never know.
I'm just going to make that exact point in regard to Wolves. I think Leeds come and try and do what Wolves were doing until Jimenez got himself sent off for those 2 stupid quick yellow cards, and it's a matter of how long they can frustrate Manchester City, because if City score early, I think this could be 3 or 4, but
it's going to be tough.
Leeds' job is going to try and frustrate them. I'm going to go, oh God, I don't know whether to go 1-0 or 3-0.
That's ridiculous. I have the bollocks. Go with 3. I fucking dare you.
3-0 to Manchester City. But I know this is going to sound really crazy, but I don't think it'll be an easy 3-0. That I know.
No, it's like one of those games where Leeds are going to have a few chances. Rafinha might hit the post or the bar or something like that. But in the main, if I had to put all my money on this game, I'd have to go with Manchester City, surely.
Yeah, there's something about me that thinks there'll be an early goal for City in this one in the first 10 minutes. So if that's the case, Leeds open up a bit, and you do not want to open up and give space to this Manchester City team. So I'll go 3-0. The next one, an interesting one, this actually, Brighton at the Amex against Wolves. No Raul Jimenez, remember, he'll be suspended.
I feel like this has got 0-0 written all over it. Where do Wolves get the goals without Raul Jimenez? And where do Brighton ever get goals in general?
They get the odd one from Mope, of course, but yeah, you're right.
Possibly, but a lot of 0-0s for both teams, or a lot of games where Wolves played some good football but haven't been able to get the results, and same with Brighton. So It really does depend. I feel like Brighton, they've both got great individuals. Like Brighton have got Lamptey, Basuma. When Maupay finally gets onto form, he's actually not a bad player. Lallana when he's playing. But I still think Wolves, it's the better squad, and I think they're going to be the better team, but I don't know where they get the goals, because Adama Traore, you're not best believe that's what they're going to be swinging the ball into him all game to try and cause trouble, but he can never finish his dinner. I'm going to say 0-0. I feel really confident on that.
It's really odd, because I'm exactly with you on the draw.
Yeah.
I think if it was a weekend game, I would say no goals, but because it's under the lights, I'm going to go 1-1.
Possibly.
Going to go 1-1, yeah. That's my prediction on this one. The next one, Crystal Palace against Southampton. Crystal Palace off the back of a good victory over Everton. Conor Gallagher, absolutely unbelievable form at the minute. Southampton struggling under Ralph Hasenhüttl. I mean, for me, I'm thinking home win, but I don't know about you.
Ralph Hasenhüttl must be one of the most overrated managers that grace this league, because people were putting him in the conversation with Jurgen Klopp at one point when he was doing well and he beat us at Anfield and started crying. So I don't see Southampton winning this game. I think Crystal Palace have just got that little bit of cohesion within the team, and the reason why they're doing so well is because they've got so many young players and they're making it work. I think they're just going to want it a bit more than Southampton, which will give them the edge every single time. Gallagher is in the form of his life. They've got some other good individuals that can cause them problems. I'm probably going to go with Palace. Even though Che Adams has done well for Southampton, I don't even see them getting a goal. I'm going to say 2-0 to Palace. Maintain that winning form.
I was very impressed with Palace the other night, particularly actually with somebody who I would wrote off as a journeyman up until then, but I really appreciated his work, and that was Jordan Ayew. I really appreciated the work he put in off the ball and how hard.
He just can't get the ball in the back of the net. Otherwise, he's an alright player and can add something else to your team besides goals. Yeah,
he defo works his ass off, and Patrick Vieira seems to really like him. Gallagher, he's just loved by the fans there as well. He's such a likeable lad, isn't he? I mean, I don't want to like him because he's a Chelsea player, but he seems like he's too nice for Chelsea, if that makes any sense.
Probably someone that isn't talked about as a Liverpool target, because there's no guarantee he's going to be a first-team choice at Chelsea. So why not go on a punt with him? Because honestly, I really, really like Conor Gallagher, and I think a top four side wouldn't be too bad for him, especially if you could promise him League Cup games, FA Cup games, and the odd Premier League game.
You could probably do worse than actually signing for Palace if they were to sell him. Do a year or two at Palace and then, prove that you're good enough, because he is good enough. Look, what I love about him is he plays with a smile on his face, and he plays like he's down the ground with his mates. He just enjoys it. You can see he loves where he is as a footballer, and I've got lots of time for that. So I'm going to go, I think, what did you say again? 2-0 was it?
I said 2-0 to Palace.
Yeah, I agree with you. I struggle to see where Southampton are going to get a goal from. Armstrong and Che Adams, I mean, they could really have done with Danny Ings still to be there. 3-1. 3-1 to Crystal Palace. I'm going to go for in this one. Another one is going to be a difficult one to call, James. Burnley against Watford at Turf Moor. Burnley flirting with relegation yet again. Watford seem to be able to score a lot of goals with Emmanuel Dennis at the minute, but still 17th in games. Yeah, still 17th. It's a weird one with Watford, because if you don't look at the Premier League table and you go off their biggest results, you think they've had a good season with the way they smashed Man United, they smashed Everton, but then the rest of the games, as you've just mentioned, very few and far between, very few results, very few points. I can see a draw. I've gone with a lot of draws today. For someone who never goes for draws, I'm going for a lot of them, but Burnley, man, I just think with Nick Pope in the net, who's had a good season, they've obviously got a good defence. I'm going to say 1-1. Both managers under pressure in this one. This is a must-win. This is already a 6-pointer, I think.
They're both. I think there's one place between them as well in the table.
You know what? I'm going to edge to Watford on this one, James. I think that firepower that they have will be a little bit too much for Burnley, so I'm going to go 2-1 to Watford for this one, and I think they'll get the 3 points. Then we've got a London derby, Arsenal against West Ham at the Emirates. Contrast in form to some extent. West Ham have been a little bit up and down. Arsenal fought back with another convincing good win the other day. This is an interesting one. And then, of course, we have to take into account, James, the issues with Aubameyang, the potential captains being stripped off him as well. I actually think they look like a better team without him in the 11, if I'm being honest. Yes,
same. I feel like what Aubameyang offers now isn't the same what he offered before he signed that new contract. regards to West Ham, they just drew against Burnley, if my brain corrects me there, but it's like you said, it's a contrasting form. Otherwise, usually it'd be West Ham all day. But I'm probably still going to edge West Ham because I feel like the more likely manager to get the players to put the finger out the backsides, out of David Moyes and Mikel Arteta, is absolutely David Moyes every day of the week. I think he knows how to get the best out of these players. Declan Rice, Antonio, etc. Bowen. I think West Ham edged this one. And plus, even though Arsenal beat Southampton, I think that's because Southampton have been very, very poor recently, and it was a game that anything else besides a win would have been ludicrous. So I'm going to say West Ham, and I'm going to say 1-0. I think it's going to be close, but the power of Antonio, I just think that's going to be too much for the likes of Ben White and Gabriel. I just do.
I have to say, by the way, did you see the Arsenal goal? I think it was the first one that they scored all the way from Ramsdale, like just diagonal passing up the pitch, bing bang bosh, Lacazette, top
proper Arsene Wenger-esque football.
That was unbelievable, mate. Honestly, I got to give credit where it's due. That goal,
that moment is what everyone thought Arteta was going to be on a week-to-week basis in terms of how he'd have his team playing, but he can't do that enough.
I still think Arsenal are too soft, if that makes sense. I think West Ham will have more steel, more fight, more bite about them.
It's a bigger game for West Ham, isn't it? It's a bigger game for them in terms of, like, you know, whenever they play Arsenal, they really want to get the points.
And again, whoever wins this game will put themselves right back into the fight for a Champions League spot. I agree with you. I think West Ham will win it by 1. I'm going to go 2-1 West Ham.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see an argument for Arsenal again. I mean, it just depends. If Arsenal get into the lead, I think they might see it out. But if West Ham score first, I think they're definitely going to get that one done. Next game up is another good one, actually. There's some good fixtures this midweek. Thursday, Leicester against Spurs at the King Power. A must-win game for both managers already.
Right, so Leicester and Spurs, I think that's one that can go many, many ways. Spurs have had their situation as well where the training hasn't been quite there, which isn't ideal because Conte is still trying to find his team. I think Leicester have been building just a little bit, step by step, a little bit of momentum. And we know that Leicester can be a good team. So just to write them off and say they can't get back to that side that won the FA Cup and won the Community Shield, I think that's stupid for me. You know, you saw the other day Tielemans, who we talked about on another show, very, very good player, can win you a game by himself. When you think about Jamie Vardy against friggin' Eric Dyer and Sanchez, you know, I know who I'm putting my money on. Harry Kane's not really being informed. You're probably relying on Son to get you your goals. I can see this being a big scoring match for Leicester, and I think it's going to be a big win. I'm going to go with 3-1 because, again, with the lack of training and Conte is trying to find his squad anyway, you know what? With Leicester building up a little bit of form, where's the confidence coming from for Spurs here? I just don't see it, so I'm going to say 3-1.
Yeah, it's a tough one, this, for Spurs. It is. I think the timing of this will certainly lean in towards Leicester. Patson Daka getting himself a goal the other day as well will fire his confidence up. As you said, Tielemans coming back in such great form. Even Maddison starting to find a little bit of form as well. Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I think there will be goals in it, but I think Leicester will ultimately edge it 2-0.
It's tough. 2-0. It's definitely tough.
The next one up, James, Chelsea against Everton at the Bridge. A game that probably couldn't come at a worse time for Rafael Benitez and this current crop of Everton players. Richarlison, there's a concern over his, I don't know if it's calf or his hamstring. And Chelsea, I'm not convinced by them, but, you know, what are you thinking here? Sure.
Before I give my prediction, right, and before I give you my answer, I want to ask you a question, Craig, if that's okay. I'd like to ask, is this Rafa's last game for Everton? Because the talk is starting to build, and it's only a matter of time. It's only another defeat where, you know, you saw the video of the Everton fans the other day. They are not happy, man, and this was a big risk as it was.
Though? So for me,
no, of course, but right now is even for Everton, it's bad. So, do you think this could be his last game? Because I really don't see how he gets a win.
I don't see how he gets a win. I agree with you, but no. And the reason why is I think having gotten rid of the director of football, I think they're going to give Rafa a chance in the window. I think they're going to give him an opportunity to do something to see if
a window that they can't spend in, because I don't know how they can spend.
Rafa's not too bad about things like that. Look, Demarai Gray, 1.5 million or less than 2 million there. That was.
But look where they still are in the table.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just think, where do they go from Rafa if they do sack him? You know, they're not going to be an attractive proposition. As you said, they won't be able to give a new manager money to spend. And Rafa just has this really unlucky streak of ending up at clubs where he won't have a pot to piss in with regards to transfer budgets.
I wonder why he keeps doing that to himself. It must just be big dough, lads. Rafa Benitez, I'm certainly going with the notion that he's been agent Rafa all the way to the bank. He's been amazing this season. He's definitely still on the Liverpool payroll. Everton are just shite. Even I've been saying Chelsea have been in bad form. If you
look at what they've done, they've almost brought in players to complement Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and they haven't been able to use Calvert-Lewin because of his injury. So I think it's been unlucky.
No, definitely. No, he has been unlucky. They haven't got a good squad, Everton. As you said, I don't see many managers doing well with them, but the board don't know that. The board, Moshiri, he's proven in his time he knows nothing about footy at Everton. So how is he going to have the know-how to be like, he's probably ignorant enough to think, this isn't my fault, this is Rafa's. That's why I think this could be his last game. I see nothing but a Chelsea win. I don't care how poor Chelsea have been. I just don't see how they don't get the point. So I'm going to say 2-0 Chelsea. I think it could be closer than what people anticipate, but Everton just have nothing for me. I don't know how they break down that defence. Yeah,
I think Everton are poor. I agree with it. Some decent young players coming through on the books at Everton, but the current crop is just not great at all. I think Everton score early in this, weirdly enough, for some reason, but Chelsea win 3-1. So, 3-1 for me to Chelsea. I agree with you. I can't see Aston past another victory. And the last one is ourselves against Newcastle, a game you'll hear, am I right in saying?
I'm not too sure, just with how unwell I am. I might not risk it, but if it don't go, that'll be the first game this season that I haven't attended to. So I'm in doubt for that match, according to reports. Anyway, I still believe we'll win. I believe we're going to smash them, and I'm devastated I'm not going to probably be there because I do believe it's going to be a big tough game. I think we could score 4 or 5. Sorry, when I say a big tough game as well, it's just when you play Newcastle, usually they're going to play a low block. They're going to try and make you sort of disorganised. They're going to try and force you to do things, but one win in all season. They haven't really improved significantly since Eddie Howe came in. I don't see how this is the usual tough proposition that Newcastle can be.
The bookies, by the way, the bookies have us at 1-11.
I'm no surprise because the form that we've been in December and the form that we're always in December, in comparison to their form all season, yeah, mate, I don't really see the hope. I feel like there's probably more points in them not turning up to the game, to be dead honest with you. So I'm going to say Liverpool, 5, Newcastle 0.
Oh, I love that. I mean, the best thing about Newcastle...
I'm going to go ambitious.
Probably being their kits, to be honest with you. And I do like that stuff. That's a set of brothers from Liverpool, that business as well, that are doing the Wolves kits, that are doing the Newcastle kits. They did do the Rangers kits. They make some Castor, I think they are, some nice gear.
Yeah,
that's the best thing about them this season. Probably been their home shirt, and the away shirt's tasty as well. I think a handy Liverpool win. I'm going to go for a nice round 3-0 though, and Sadio Mane to get himself a goal, because I
feel like that's a safer prediction than mine. I feel like that's a safer prediction than mine, to be fair. But I do believe it'll be goals galore. And St. Maximin, like every team has at least one good player, and in this instance, it's Maximin. I don't think he's got the end product to really get it done for them. So, yeah, I only see it.
I think they'll come, they'll fight, and once we get that first goal, they'll capitulate, and the goals will come afterwards. So, yeah, I think I can understand your 5-0. I think it could be 3, 4, 5. I think it has goals in it. But
regardless, it's a Liverpool win.
Absolutely. And look, that brings to an end this round of fixtures, but with there being midweek ones, there'll be another one later on in the week. So, again, massive shout out to you guys for tuning in and watching. Let us know your thoughts and your predictions in the comment section below. Thank you to Mr. James Redmond as always, and I urge you guys to get over and subscribe to James Redmond TV. And
thank you very much. Absolutely. And thank you so much for the kind support on these type of videos, the unpopular opinion videos. It really means more than you think to get your feedback, and your feedback on this video, as well as your predictions, would be marvellous. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, people, and I hope you have a marvellous day.
And don't forget, there is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, so James will be doing a forfeit at the end of the season.
As Craig likes to think, you know, and delusion is a thing that is common in the world nowadays, and even someone as perfect as Craig sometimes can creep just an incy-wincy bit of delusion. So it's fine, Craig. We'll get that out of your system as soon as possible, because I'm your friend.
Love that. The battle lines have been drawn, my friends. The battle lines have been drawn. We will catch up with you later on in the week. Thank you guys for tuning in. Take care. Bye bye.